It was a quiet afternoon when Emma stumbled upon an old, dusty box in her grandmother's attic. She was helping her parents sort through her grandmother's belongings after she had moved into a care home. The box, hidden beneath layers of forgotten memories, was covered in cobwebs and looked untouched for decades. Curiosity got the best of her, and she carefully opened it, revealing stacks of yellowed letters tied together with a faded blue ribbon. The delicate handwriting on each envelope spoke of a time long past. A time when love was written on paper and sealed with hope. Emma sat by the window, sunlight filtering through the curtains, illuminating the fragile letters in her lap. She untied the ribbon, releasing the scent of nostalgia and faint traces of perfume. The first letter she opened was dated July 12, 1943. It began, "My dearest Eleanor, not a day goes by when I don't think of you." As Emma read the words, her heart raced. These letters were from her grandfather, James, written during the war when he was stationed overseas. But as she continued reading, she noticed something unexpected. These letters were never sent. They were all addressed to a woman named Eleanor, not her grandmother, Margaret. Confused and curious, Emma kept reading. The letters spoke of an intense, passionate love. James wrote about stolen moments under the moonlight before he was deployed, about his dreams of returning to Eleanor and building a life together. But as the letters went on, the tone shifted. He spoke of uncertainty, of being torn between duty and desire. The last letter was the hardest to read. "I will always love you, Eleanor, but I must do what's right. Margaret needs me, and I made a promise. I hope someday you'll understand." Emma's heart sank. Her grandfather had been in love with another woman, but he chose to marry her grandmother out of responsibility, not love. That evening, Emma visited her grandmother in the care home. She hesitated, unsure how to bring it up, but curiosity pushed her forward. "Grandma, who is Eleanor?" she asked gently. Margaret's eyes widened, then softened as she sighed, a look of distant pain and acceptance crossing her face. "I always knew about Eleanor," she admitted, her voice trembling. "James told me before we were married. He said his heart was torn, but that he would honor his commitment to me. We built a life together, had a family, but a part of him was always with her." Tears welled up in Margaret's eyes. "I loved him with everything I had, but I always knew I was his second choice." Emma was stunned. She had always seen her grandparents as the picture of love and devotion. Yet beneath that image was a story of sacrifice, loyalty, and unspoken heartache. "Did you ever resent him?" Emma asked. Margaret shook her head. "Number, how could I? He was a good man. He gave me a family, a home, and he stayed. Sometimes love isn't about grand gestures or fairy tale endings. Sometimes it's about choosing to stay even when your heart wants to leave." Emma sat quietly, absorbing her grandmother's words. She realized love wasn't always simple or fair. Sometimes love meant letting go of dreams and embracing reality. It meant honoring promises, even when they weighed heavy on the heart. As she held her grandmother's hand, Emma felt a newfound respect for the life her grandparents built together. It was a love story, complicated by choices, but held together by commitment. A week later, Emma returned to the attic and placed the letters back in the box. She retied the blue ribbon and left them where she found them, preserving the memory of a love that was never meant to be. As she closed the attic door, she whispered, "Rest in peace, Grandpa and Eleanor." She knew she would never read those letters again, but their story would live on in her heart. A reminder that love, in all its complexity, was both beautiful and bittersweet.